Well, hello. It's JoJo Shabadoo. Welcome back to SanShabbadoo. When we left last time, our little city was actually just turning into a worthy village. And hopefully we will be a tiny town soon. So let's get right into that. Basically, we just need to deal with our demand and do some zoning, some road building. Let's get to it. We're going to need another power plant. Going to put it on this side so it's not affecting our residents too much. We need to remove some of these nodes on this particular stretch of road. It's a side effect of the way we made this using the parallel road tool, because as the circumference of the arcs got smaller, the number of nodes remained the same, and yeah, more nodes than we need. Speaking of nodes, we're going to need to add nodes there, but I'll deal with that later. We're going to have a pedestrian path that comes through here, goes across over to there. But first, I think we can go ahead and let's set our zones to where they're on this side of the road only. Yeah, okay. How's our garbage doing? Not well. Let's put up another. Yep. Okay, running low on money. That was expensive. Let's see if we can cut back a little bit. Save some money. Oh, no, we don't want to cut back that much. $80 not enough? Okay, that should do it. We need to turn up our water budget a little bit. 55. How's that? Yeah, okay. I'll need to check it again before too long. We're still turning a profit, so that's what's important. And we got some crime. Probably should have built the police and the fire before I built. Well, I think we're going to need to take out a loan. Because crime will not wait. Okay. I think right here is a good enough spot. Leave a little space. We're going to want to put some parking there later. And of course, we need a little fire station as well. Look at all those police cars going out. They got some serious work to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there. Okay. So residential demand is jumping up. That's good. That's what we want. Get those citizens in there. That's not residential. All right, here comes the long arm of the law. So quick. All they have to do is drive past and the crime just disappears. Like, oh, it's the cops. Better stop. Stop doing all that crime and be good boys and girls. I guess let's leave that. That's probably going to stunt the growth of that building there, but I'd just like to leave a little space, even though I'm probably not going to fill that with the pedestrian path. Okay, good stuff. So I'm thinking about how is the future development of this going to work, right? Because I want a tram line, and I want the tram lines to be separate from the roads, at least here. But then I've got to figure out how it's going to cross the highway and how it's going to go into this commercial zone. Now, what I'm sort of hoping to do is eventually turn this into a walkable promenade here. So I suppose what I want to do is maybe just for this road, have the tram lines on the road. It should be okay since this is low density. All right, we got some sewage issues. Wow, we got some. Oh, that's why it's on fire. Yeah, it will cause some sewage issues if your treatment facility is burning down. I wonder if I can sneak these over a little bit so I'm not tearing up the land quite so bad there. I'll smooth that out later. Okay. Are we back online? It's still a little charred, isn't it? Okay, it's back on now. But I do need to go ahead and crank up the budget on it a little. Okay. All right. So, demand is balancing out here. Elementary school availability is a little bit low. I think maybe we'll be okay. I think I can probably up the budget just a little bit, give it just a little more capacity. Just until we can get a little more money and start developing over here. Okay, so I've got plans to have another residential zone over here. And then I want to make some farms over here as soon as we get the industrial district specialization. Oh, we have it. Okay, so this is going to be farming industry here. So let's go ahead and claim this farming district. And do I have... I do. Okay, so I want to have the organic and local produce here. And I want it to be farming. Now, our industrial demand is moderate, but not great. So let's go ahead, finish out zone in this area. Okay, but we've got a little bit more time here for a little more commercial. And some of our first... Did I already do the farming industry there? Oh, okay, I did not. I said forestry industry. I thought that did not look like the right icon. Okay, glad I caught that. That would have been awkward. And so the roads here, I think I want to have a little buffer zone of commercial right along this collector. Okay, we're a tiny town now. We got landscaping finally. Great. We've got parks. That's good. Okay, great. And we've got our Industries DLC areas. And fences. All right, good fences make good neighbors. Lots of parks. We got some custom assets here too. We got some of a few candies, great little parks, and some parks by Larry Skylines. And then these are some custom assets that I made. It's sort of a modular system for creating green belts, and we're going to get into that as well. So essentially, they are just paths and trees and plants, right, that go different directions, and you connect them together with pedestrian paths, and they're easy to integrate with each other. And the main difference between doing that and just putting down a bunch of paths and trees is you get the entertainment value and the land value buffer. So that's why I created those. So I've got a T, I've got this one, which is Akruas, this one, which is just an entrance. There's one that meanders one way, one that meanders the other way. I misspelled meander. I don't know how I got a T in there, meander. There's an L junction going left and right, and that's basically it. Other than that, I just connect them with the pavement, pedestrian paths, and then fill in the detailing. And I think they look pretty good. So those are, I just put them up on the workshop in case anyone's interested, and they're all in a collection as well. So I'll put a link to the assets in the description. So I need to put, I'm basically adding assets to my asset collection as I use them. So once I use them in an episode, then I'll put them up on our list. Okay, I think I can start putting some commercial areas on here. Seems like I want to leave this for parking. Maybe leave this for parking and for the tramway. So this will be a little tram intersection here. Oh, but I want to do this too. So let's go ahead. This is a little bit odd. It actually put it on the correct side, but it's showing that it's going to put the zones on the other side there, if you see that. It does that sometimes, and I'm not exactly sure why. Okay, so these are kind of broken up. I want them to be full 4 deep, so that's not really working for me. What I can do, I guess I'm going to add back one of these nodes, or at least move it. What I want to do is put a node back here, maybe move this one over just a little bit. The reason I'm doing that is I'm going to make this first section of road into a no-zone road, which is also on the workshop. Let's remove these extra nodes now. And I mentioned this last time. I made this no-zone road before they had the ability to turn off the zoning. But since I use Move It, what happens is you'll turn off the zoning, and then you'll turn it back on, and then you'll move a road that doesn't have zoning, and all the zones pop back on, and sometimes it will break the zones that already have buildings grown on them. And that is an issue, especially when you don't notice it. Let's see, ZO, there it is. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, ZO, click on the road. Do I got it? Okay, I got it, and then I have to turn this off. Sometimes that gets a little bit confusing. Okay, so the no zone road, it's just a regular road that I removed the zones in the asset editor. And it just, what it does, I guess I don't really want it. Well, no, it'll be fine. What it does basically is it ensures that there will never be any zones on that road. Even if I move it later, it will remain zone free and it won't break any of these zones that I'm making now. Oh, but I have to upgrade these roads too. And this one is just going to be a regular 2-lane road. But I want to turn the zones on both sides. All right, so all of our planning roads have been turned into actual roads, except for this one. And that's just a reminder that I'm going to put a tram lane there later, or a tram line, I should say. I might save this and just develop this first. I'm not even sure what I'm saving it for, but it's a good general practice to leave some areas empty and not just start zoning everything, because later on you'll realize, oh, I need to put something and I don't have a space for it. Rather than breaking the buildings that have already grown, you'll say, oh, okay. And then you can act all confident and say, oh, well, I meant to do that. I was planning to put that there. And people will be very impressed with how forward-thinking and how well you design for, how well you future-proof your designs, I should say. Okay, so a bit of a slope on these, so I'm not going to zone right next to them, although I do have some plans to put some cute little park assets that were made by Few Candy. And where are they? There's this one. There's a small playground. I think since it's a commercial zone, what I want, somewhere there is a food truck park, community park. There's the food truck park. Now, Toggle It lets me turn off here that annoying. Well, it's informative, but once you're kind of aware of the entertainment radius and stuff, you really don't need that view. And I kind of want to see what my parks look like as I'm building them. So, food truck park. Lovely. And I love how this one has two little places to grab onto the pedestrian paths. And it sort of works out that where my terrain goes up is right here where it is detailed. So it really looks like it was made to have this little hill there. So I'm going to do this on all four sides here. And so people, after their long walk, can have a nice little snack. Oh, speaking of long walks, I had this plan here that I was going to bring the roads up to where the sidewalk textures attached, thinking that, well, that means that the pedestrians will cross over. However, it does not mean that, because I don't see anyone walking over here. So that means I need to connect all of these with pedestrian paths so that they will work. Now, is there a simple way to do it? Can I just kind of turn off all my snapping here? Can I just sort of stick a piece right here and that'll do it? Let's turn off collision too. Let us see. I want to find out, are these folks going to start walking over there now? Well, they don't really have much to walk over to yet, do they? How about down here? Oh, I'm low on power. Okay, pause. I see. Now, this is a problem because... oh, I got to turn my info views back on here. The only spot that's got wind on here is right here where I'm developing. I don't have the advanced wind turbine yet, so I can't start putting them out on the water. Now, eventually, all my power is going to go somewhere else. So what I can do, I guess, is go ahead and buy another tile. And there's some good wind power over here. However, I won't be able to develop very much over here yet because I don't want this all to be residential served by this one exit, because then I get farther and farther away from commercial and industrial. And as we are trying to keep our road networks for commercial, industrial, and for residential separate from each other. So what I need to do, I think, is by this one. Now, there's not very much wind area here, but it will, I think, allow me to at least get to the next milestone when I can unlock the advanced wind turbines and start putting them in the water. Okay, let's turn on our wind here. Now, I'm using the 81 tiles mod, which means that it allows me to put all of the power lines under the roads. But there has to be a road. So I think I'm going to need to build a road. I wonder, will the power go under a planning road? Just to save me a little money. I want to see. So I'm just going to attach it to the highway network here. I know that's not very, it's a bit of a cheese. I just want to see if this works. And it does work. Okay. So, just so I don't get some silly people going down this, because I do realize, even though they're planning roads, cars will still actually use them. Okay, I need to build more than one of these, I think. So I'm just going to go ahead and use Traffic Manager here to ban all traffic. Okay. And we'll just pretend that the service vehicles can use that road. All right. Now, where were we? Residential demand is high. The water needs to be turned up in the budget panel again. Okay, that's good. And I don't have any other places to zone residential right now. Okay. So I do want to build some pedestrian paths. But I think I can wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to go ahead and pause this. And I'm going to plan out my next little bit of networking. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So what I did here is my my arterials come in here, and then my collectors come in here, and then branching here, and then these local roads are all connected to that. And that also gives me the opportunity to use this no zone road again. And I'm probably not going to use it on this one, though. I might want to have a little bit of light commercial in this central section. And something I discovered is that the organic local produce actually doesn't make really any noise. So you can put it right next to residential and it's just fine. So that's what I'm going to do there. Let's just get the regular two-way roads now. Make sure our zoning is fully on. So the zoning's a little bit odd here in the middle. What I might do, I think what I'm going to do here is flip it to where it's just on one side. Because I want, other side. Nope. There. This is going to be a little bit weird, though. Let me just smooth it out and see. It might be okay. Maybe if I just have some small zones, it'll be okay. Just a little area right there in the middle. So as you can see, I'm using these keys as retaining walls. One of the best functions of them. I think I want that to be right next to the road. And then I can use the node controller here on the end node, change the angle so that it, get rid of this. Matches up nicely, right? Good stuff. Although that angle is probably going to change now once I move these over. Let's just move them all at the same time. One of my favorite features of Move It is it's the only thing in the game that has an undo button. Having the undo command is very good when you make as many mistakes as I do. You probably saw during that time lapse, I rebuilt these roads several times before I was happy with them. Because I've got to get the distances correct, right? I've got to, I want to have a little space here, just for some green space between this key wall and these residences. Be a nice area to put in, you know, some little detailing, make it look good. Now, for some reason, these are not sitting the way I want them to. Been having this thing lately where the roads are building higher and lower than I expect them to. I'm sure there is a completely logical reason for that, or it could be a side effect of all the mods I'm using. It's not a big problem, but it is something that I've noticed. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Just a couple of shops here. This is still, I want it to only be on one side. Yeah, like that. Okay, Now let's get it back on both sides and finish upgrading. All right, there we have it. I just need to upgrade this road. Yeah. So just a simple little district here. Okay. So I guess these are districts now too, but I don't know if I need to draw them yet or if they're going to have any kind of specialization. I don't think they are. I don't think they really need to have special policies. So I'm going to wait to do that, and just before I forget, I want this one to be self-sufficient housing, and I want it to be organic produce. Okay, so let's get to zoning. Okay, now these guys are going to want to get over here, and they're probably already walking. So I need to get some pedestrian paths in. First of all, I want them to be able to walk to this road. I think I need to take off the road length. And then I want them to be able to cross the highway. I think this is a good place for it. Get elevated here. Go up to 8 meters. That should be enough to clear over the top of this sign. Let's see, is it cleared? Yeah, and I like that because it kind of looks like those signs are on the bottom of the pedestrian bridge. Lovely. Okay, and then there's this tree right here. It's not in the way, so I'm just going to leave it right there. And then one of my favorite new tricks that I learned from Overcharged Egg is to use the intersection marking tool. Let's not pop on there. Well, what's going on? Do I still have... Let's do this. Okay. Trying to remember my keyboard shortcuts for the road snapping options. So yeah, intersection marking tool has a really cool ability to put stairs on networks. So I've already got a preset, and the steps that I'm using, and again, I got this idea from Overcharged Egg. All credit goes to him. If anyone really wants me to break it down, I can. So here's what it is. You can screenshot that. It's this vanilla steps is what they're called. So it's just a single step, and you put it this far apart, put it at a 90-degree angle, you shift it over 2 meters, right? And it lines them up on this line, and they look pretty good. And then, of course, I've made a preset of that, so I can just quickly put it wherever I want it. So from a height of 8 meters. 2 meters is pretty good. Don't want to snap to that. Gives it a nice angle for the steps. Okay, yep, that's close enough to the crossings. Preset. Just love it. All of the different ways. Here comes somebody already. All the different ways that I've tried through various assets off the workshop to get. Oh, there's someone. What a daredevil riding up and down the stairs. Okay, well, it's not perfect. There are some drawbacks. Um, but I think that's the best solution right now for pedestrian path stairs. It's quick, it's easy, it looks good, and it's easy to get the Sims to use it. Okay. Speaking of that, oh, look, there are not enough workers for these buildings. Well, hopefully they will come. Oh, and speaking of that, I need to see if I can get people to cross here. Will that work to get people to cross? Let's find out. Okay, here's someone going down. Can they cross now over to here? This is what I want to find out. Hopefully they're not just going to go to the end of the street and despawn. Okay, well, that's not what I wanted. Seems like maybe I need to do it like this. That looks okay. And again, they're just U-turning. Not enough educated workers. Oh. Do I need to build a high school now? I do, but I don't have enough money. Okay. Yeah, that's the problem. It's not that there are not enough residents. It's that I have to educate them. Okay, so I can go ahead and start planning for that, though, because the money's coming in pretty quick. I'll have enough money in no time. So I think this is where I want to build my high school. Now, I've got this really cool, I don't know if I have enough for it now, this football stadium by King Leno. It's a really cool asset, and I really would like to put it as close as I can. So I'm going to actually put the road right on top of this. And then we'll make this go across here and connect to there. And then I'm going to flip that. I think that makes sense, right? Does that make sense? And okay. How does that look? Sits pretty nice. I could actually just scoot it in a little more. Oh, got to turn buildings on and move it. Just until that concrete connects. And see, this just fits just right here. That looks pretty good. Okay. And then I think I'll have enough space here to maybe put a tennis court. But I'm going to have to wait for that because I don't have enough money. Yeah, see, I can put the tennis court and the basketball court here. Okay, we got to turn up the water again. Let's give it a little bit more. Okay, so we're almost to the next milestone, the boomtown, when we will get highways. Oh my goodness. That is exciting. And we get transit. So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that. I need to do a lot of detailing, though. I think the whole next episode might just be a big, long detailing time lapse because I've got some really good plans for what I'm going to do with this area here. And these next to the arterial are all going to be some nice green belts and green belts on the highway all through here and here. It's going to be pretty cool. So this is when the game decided to crash, and it was right as it was crossing the Boomtown milestone at 2,400. I have since gone back, watched the video, and rebuilt the city, followed all the steps that I did so that it is very close to how it was when the game crashed. I think this is a good time to end the episode. If you've been with me this far, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Hope you'll come back and see the next one. Hope you'll give me a like and a subscribe. And if you didn't like it, you can give me a dislike. I will see you with the next one. Bye-bye.